Hey fam, what's good? What's good? I hope the show well and keeping safe. Welcome back to another one. In the comment section, let me know how was your week of trading. Was it a good one? Was it a bad one? D, I was with you on the longs. D, you know what? I was with me on the shorts. Let me know how was your week of trading, right? For this week, we can see that it is a big one as well. You know what? We do have the GDP coming through, right? Another huge big fundamental for us for this coming week. So you know what, we are going to have a whole lot of volatility coming through on Thursday as well, right? We can see that we actually have a packed week when it comes down to our news events, right? We do have on Monday 2 events coming through, right? Just before or just after our actual trading session, right? So we just have to be a little bit cautious on Monday. On Tuesday, we have our news events coming through after our trading session. So you know what, we are perfectly fine, right? We have new home sales, so I do expect some volatility to come through on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you know what, we have durable goods orders, so and crude oil inventory. So you know what, we can see some volume coming through on Wednesday as well, right? And we can see that our crude oil is coming through on our actual trading session, so we have to be a little bit cautious on Wednesday as well, right? So Monday, Wednesday, we need to be a little bit cautious, right? On Thursday, we are perfectly fine, right? But on Thursday, we have a big news event coming through, the GDP, right? So we have to be a little bit cautious if we are finding ourselves having an early trading session, or just in general want to find ourselves participating with what's happening on the GDP, right? And then on Friday, right, we do have some volatility coming through as well, right, at 2:30. That's basically before our trading session, so we are perfectly fine on Friday as well. So you know, it's just Monday and Wednesday where we have to be a little bit cautious when it comes down to PA, right? So this week I am quite excited for what is to come on the NASDAQ, right? Let's see what's happening on the charts. My analysis is the exact same way as what it was over the course of last week, right? So if you want to see the full breakdown, please make sure to go check out the breakdown on last week's Sundays, right? And yeah, you know, you'll have a better understanding of where I'm coming from when it comes down to our breakdown. So just to have like somewhat of a recap of what basically happened. So last week we basically said that if we can see that closure above this area right over here, all we are expecting price to do is have that pull back towards the downside, come back into an actual discounted area, and then have that shift back towards the upside, right? We can see that we had that beautiful shift towards the upside, right, until Thursday basically came and basically push price all the way back towards the downside. I do know that there's so many people who was like, nah, we are not gonna go short, we are never gonna, well, we're not gonna go long, right, we are going short. And once we have found ourselves creating, you know what, this breaker over here, right, or just shifting market structure from this beautiful bull market back to a bear market, I know that so many traders was like, nah, you're wrong, right? And well, not just simply saying that I was wrong, but you know, they were finding themselves looking for some overall shorts towards the downside, right? But unfortunately, price just found itself having a further shift back towards the upside, right? And yeah, you know, Thursday we had some beautiful shows coming through, but you know what, we can see on Friday we had a nice little recovery when it comes down to price. All right, so we can see that we came actually all the way back down, back into this volume imbalance we have found ourselves creating, right? And from that area we had a beautiful shift back towards the upside. Now, for those who have found themselves watching me for quite a while, you will know that I do look at volume imbalances as, you know what, areas of support and resistance as well, right? And currently the one thing that is fiddling with me a little bit is the simple fact that we did find ourselves creating one over here as well. You know what, as this is a signal that we need to find ourselves coming all the way back down, back into this area, right? So once we had the change in market structure, I was like, okay, maybe we can find ourselves coming all the way back down here, right? On Thursday, once we find ourselves changing market structure as well, I was like, okay, maybe we can find ourselves coming all the way back down into this region over here as well, right? So for each and every single one of you, if we are having that change in market structure, right, this is an area I'm having my eye out on, right? This whole zone over here, I'm having my eye out on for a potential shift back towards the upside, right? That will basically be like worst case scenario. At this point, I don't want to see price have that overall shift back towards the downside. But you know what? At the same time, who am I, right? I don't control the market whatsoever. We need to be reactive and see how we can basically participate when it comes down to price, right? Now, you could have found yourself having a beautiful, you know what, trade from this area onwards. If we can see from the volume imbalance, right? Once again, this is what I mean when I say that, hey, if there is a point of interest, right, and there is like a 541 pip gap that you can, or not gap, but you know what, an area to where you can find yourself participating in with price, right? This is basically what I mean. Now, you may have the volume imbalance as an actual point of interest, right? But all you are waiting for is somewhat of a rejection from this area, a change in market structure, so that you can find yourself having that shift back towards the upside, right? So if we are going to look at what PA basically presented to us over here, where you could have found yourself catching those beautiful long opportunities would basically be from this area, right? This is serving as a BOB. That is serving as a BOB as well. We had the closure above. We came back for the retest. And there we find ourselves having that beautiful shift towards the upside. Beautiful longs towards the upside, right? But keep in mind, this is the 4-hourly time frame. Not many people are finding themselves participating on a 4-hourly time frame. So, hey, let's go to a lower time frame and see, you know what is up. So let's look at the 1 hourly. Let's see what's happening on the 1 hourly. All right, let's see. Well, let's go on a 15-minute time frame. Let's go on a 15-minute. Right. So on a 15-minute time frame, right, let's look at this area over here. So over here we can basically see that we did have what? We did have the swing low right there. We did what? We created a lower low right over here, right? We found ourselves creating that higher high. We found ourselves leaving a BOB, right? So your entry could have been from this BOB over here. Maybe if I can go on a 5-minute time frame, it would be so much more clear, right? Let's go on a 5-minute time frame and just remove this and just do it again, right? And just remove that. Or we'll just keep it just like that, right? But if you have found yourself monitoring on the 15-minute time frame, that was the high we basically found ourselves creating, right? And many people, keep in mind, a BOB is basically an order block as well, right? So this is a clean order block we have right over here. And the criteria to which I basically have when it comes down to having like that correction and looking at that last down close candle is that, you know what, we need to have a BOB within that area, right? So if I can go on the 1-minute time frame, check this out. We need to have that actual BOB. Let's do the following. Let's just get that area so I can show you guys what I'm talking about, right? And once again, make sure to go check out the playlist I found myself creating for each and every single one of you, right? Because ultimately that is how I am finding myself executing price as well, right? Those in the Discord also do know that that is basically how we find ourselves executing price, right? So right there, that is the BOB within our actual uptrend, right? We had the closure above, we never came back for the retest, and there you guys can see we had a clean retest from that area. So that would basically be your entry. It's also lining up within an actual discounted area, right? So that is pretty clean, right? So all you basically just wait for price is to tap within that point of interest, and then you find yourself being quite active within that area, right? We had a little bit of fluctuation before we had that actual shift towards the upside, right? And if you want to find yourself re-entering, just wait for the exact same thing again, right? What is this? Okay. Let's put this right over there. Check this out. Boom. There's a high. There's a higher high, right? But obviously this higher high, you won't be seeing this when the market is still in formation, right? But what you would see is the lows. You will see the low. There's the lower low, right? So all you are waiting for is the higher high, right? So what do you have now? You basically have the change in market structure, right? So you're changing market structure from a bear market back into a bull market. All right, quite simple. All you want to see price do, come all the way back down. Here we can see that we do have a nice little correction, right? So once again, criteria for this, we need to have like somewhat of a BOB inside this area whatsoever. Or you know what, if we are having a shift towards the downside, we are then finding ourselves visiting what, a beautiful area of demand below price. So let's go to the 1 minute time frame, see what's happening within the area right there. All right, let's zoom price in just a little bit, right? And right there we can see that we are having a beautiful BOB lining up as well, right over there, right? So those are basically the criteria, right? You want to see price come into an actual point of interest, then you want to see price have somewhat of an actual rejection, and then you want to find yourself participating with price, right? Same thing over here as well. There's a swing low, there we broke the actual high. Now we are finding ourselves coming all the way back down, back into this actual this up close candle, which is basically serving as somewhat of an actual breaker, right? And there we are having the shift back towards the upside. Same thing over here, we had some, hey, what's this happen? Same thing over here, we had some equal lows coming through, right? We took out those equal lows. What did we do? We left behind a BOB. What did price came to do? Tap into the BOB, had a shift towards the upside, right? Check this out. Price left another BOB, right? Price came into the BOB. There we had to shift towards the upside. Price left another BOB. Price came back into it, shift towards the upside. Price left another BOB, tapped into it, shift towards the upside, right? So hey, you know what, Q1 and well, in fact Q1 is a significant quarter when it comes down to BOBs, right? Supply and demand areas as well. So just keep an actual eye out on that, right? So you could have found yourself catching a whole lot of trades when it comes down to the NASDAQ after, catching that beautiful, or tapping within that point of interest, having that actual shift towards the upside, right? Multiple BOB, tap into it, shift, right? So yeah, BOB, quite significant, clean stuff. But let's look at what is happening over the course of now. Okay, so as you guys know, that is my target to where I would love to see price have that shift into. We do have a gap over there as well, and ultimately I just want to see the gap being close, right? So currently we can see that we took out the previous day. So this was Thursday. So on Friday we took out the low of the previous day, right? Which is kind of concerning for me, right? I don't really like when stuff like that happens, right? I would like to see the highs being violated, yes. But looking at how we have found ourselves closing, you know what? I love the fact that we have found ourselves closing as a as we had closed right over here with a huge tail towards the downside, body towards the upside. This is basically showing us that our bulls is trying to find themselves flexing, right? They are trying to find themselves adding some more contracts on the table, and that is what we want to see, right? And if we want to see price have that actual overall shift towards the upside, what should our 4-hourly time frame be in structure? Should we be bullish? Should we be bearish in market structure if we would want to see the shift back towards the upside? I hope you are all screaming out, we need to be bullish, right? We need to be bullish. And let's shift to the H4 time frame, and we can see that on the H4 time frame that we are bullish, right? Now, before I'm gonna point out that we are bullish, can you guys actually see why we are bullish? Can you see why? I hope you can, right? But nonetheless, let's point out what's happening on the H4 time frame. All right, so here we basically have a nice little swing high once again. can you guys see that we have found ourselves taking out the swing high, right? Because ultimately we were bearish in market structure. Low, lower low. Which market consists out of lower lows? A bear market, right? Now, since we have found ourselves taking out this beautiful swing high, creating a higher high, right? Which market consists out of higher highs? A bull market or a bear market? I hope you all are screaming out a bull market, right? So H4 time frame, in my eyes, we are bullish in market structure, right? So I will just simply find myself just pointing out this area as my sell side, just like that, right? And all I basically want to see price do on my actual H4 time frame is have somewhat of an actual shift back towards the downside, and then have a beautiful upside momentum, right? So if I can grab my Fibonacci out from the low all the way up to the high, right? I would love to see us have somewhat of an actual shift all the way back down. You know what, if we can find ourselves visiting this beautiful discounted area, right, this will be an area to where I will have my eye out on, so that we can see that beautiful longs finding itself opening up, right? So ultimately, this is what I would love to see happen on the NASDAQ, right? Obviously, we don't know if we can have the shift towards the downside from this area just of yet, right? We need to see somewhat of a change in market structure on lower time frame to be sure that we are having the shift back towards the downside, right? But am I looking for the overall shorts? No, I'm not, right? I'm still looking for those beautiful longs to open up on the NASDAQ, right? So all I want to see price do is have somewhat of an actual reversal, so that we can see price have that actual shift back towards the upside, right? Now, I do know that many would be like, D, are we finding ourselves creating an actual breaker over here? Yes, you aren't wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong, right? You are not wrong. So price can easily also just come inside this actual breaker, and then just find itself having that actual shift towards the upside, right, from this breaker onwards. But ultimately, for this week as well, I'm still looking for those beautiful longs to find itself opening up, right, as an actual target to be quite safe. You can find yourself looking at, you know what, 19,920 as an actual safe haven, right? So if we can find ourselves just boxing this area out, 19,920, just like that, bang, right? So that can be a nice little safe haven for those beautiful longs to find itself opening up. Once again, right, from this area onwards, this is 200 odd pips towards the upside. So from that 200 pips, you can find yourself catching at least around about 60, right? You can find yourself catching around about 100 as well, right? If we can have that deeper retracement, right, this is where the gap opens up more. So now we have a, you know, a playground of 380 plus pips, right? So from this, you can find yourself catching at least that, you know what, 100 pips. You can find yourself at least catching that 200 pips, right, after waiting for that rejection, and yeah, you know, having that shift towards the upside, right? So for this week, you know what, not much to say when it comes down to the charts itself, right? Still looking for those beautiful longs. Let me know, what are you guys finding yourself looking for? Are you still long on the NASDAQ, or are you like, nah, D, you know what, we are going all the way down and I am gonna find myself shorting this thing, right? I am curious to know. Fam, listen, make sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe button if you are finding yourself enjoying this content, right? We are finding ourselves, you know what, focusing on the NASDAQ only. And as time goes by, you know what, we can find ourselves looking at some other, you know what, pays as well. But as if now, we are just finding ourselves looking at the NASDAQ and finding ourselves participating in with what price has present or is presenting to us, right? So if you have a clear understanding, make sure to drop a comment in the comment section, right? Even if you are to say, yes, D, we are having a beautiful understanding, or no, D, we don't, right? We are long, we are short, because ultimately this will push our content inside the YouTube algorithm, and yeah, you know, we'll push out the content to more individuals like you and I, right? So that's it from me, your boy D. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Please do make sure that you are finding yourself having a clean, profitable week, right? Even if you're not gonna find yourself having a profitable week, right, just make sure that you are finding yourself learning each and every single day. You know what, make notes, write down your actual mistakes and try to rectify it, right? Because trading is not as how it is being portrayed on social media, right? This is a self-improvement journey, right? Seems easy, but it's really not that easy, right? Seems easy, but it's really not that easy, and I'm here to tell you that. All right. So, safe trade fam, make sure to use proper risk management, right? So until the next one, keep safe.